So this one, I was hoping to have the numbers for you, but I'm still waiting on the financials from staffing because we're on the last pay. They work 2 days into this pay period, so I'm still waiting for that, the final numbers, but they look really good. Right now, I believe we're somewhere around $30,000 in revenue surplus from for the pool operation. So I'm pretty happy about that. It may be something to where if everything looks good, I may actually ask you guys in the council if I can use some of that money to renovate some items at the pool. Because I know in our surveys that was a big, hey, you need to take care of the facilities you have. And I don't know if you've been down to the pool lately, but they're blasting it up. And it looks really bad right now, but next week it'll look all pretty because it'll be painted up. We're getting the slide should be painted sometime in the next couple of weeks as well. They're getting refinished. We got estimates on the slide tower, the blue part of the slide, but it was really high, so we're going to kind of hold back on that, see if we can find some other options. We're going to try to take apart the SES feature, which is the play feature, and try to get it repainted and take it apart ourselves and hopefully save a ton of money doing it that way. And then really what I would like that $30,000 for is chase lounges because they're starting to deplete pretty heavy. And then also splash pad features. Our splash pad was put in before they had the cool dump buckets and squirt guns and everything. So I'm hoping to do an upgrade on that. I'm getting pricing on it right now, and we'll find out if that's even in the ballpark. But that's something I'd like to look at because if we do all these things, it's going to look brand new down there and be nice and safe too. So we've also got a quote coming in on the climbing wall / diving board, whichever one we decide to do. And then we're putting new sand filter media in as part of that safety upgrade as well. So got a lot going on. I'm hoping it all is done here in the fall so that the spring we don't have to worry about it. So
I did have a question. Which slide were we painting?
So if you remember, go ahead.
The big one?
Yeah, the two big ones will be painted.
Didn't they have a seam that we were having issues with trying to deal with? Have we fixed that seam? Yeah. Okay.
Last year we re-caulked all the seams on the slides, so we kind of fixed that problem. And then this year they're going through and they are painting the outside and then putting a protective coat. They're buffing the inside, protective coat, fixing the seams. And then there's some cracking in the top of the slides. They're going to come in and fix all the cracks in the top where you kind of like enter the flume.
Okay. Cool. That's all I had. Anybody else have any questions or comments?
Sounds great.
Nope. Hearing them, let's move on. 2022 budget.
So this is the same budget I showed you guys before. The only thing that changed is I've made an error in the 2021. I put $2,740,000. David caught me on that one. But that was the major change. And then I reduced a couple of things just from where our actuals are right now. But I just wanted to make you guys aware. And we're going through the budget process. We had a presentation last night. So I presented the budget, had a lot of good feedback, so we'll kind of see where we're going with it. But, yeah, that's really all I had. Did you guys have any questions on anything in any of those categories? The big things were, I'm trying to think, I think it was in the 204 account. The big things were adding another mower, trading in our lift for a used lift, but we may have a deal worked with Public Works to where we don't have to pay anything. We'll just give them our old one and they'll give us theirs. And then a new vehicle, which we try to get every 3 years. And I think that was pretty much it. And then also a host request as far as bathroom upgrades, which was a big item in those surveys, and it just needs to be done. So we're going to try to do all of those this winter I guess it would still be winter, but like in January when the use of the bathrooms is a lot less.
Okay. Elizabeth, Jimbo, you guys got any questions or comments? Nope. Am I rushing you too quickly?
No, you
Okay.
can feel free to always ask me questions anytime if you see something or if you want to focus on something. I do think once the master plan's done, we need to go back and have a retreat again and go back after that priority projects list, because there are a couple of things in the master plan that we need to rearrange and probably put up higher. But we were fairly on point. There's just a couple of things like the dog park. I think it probably needs to jump up the list. And then the bathrooms probably need to jump up the list. We have them spread out. We just need to probably put them all together and put them up in the top. But maybe look at doing a retreat in November or something like that.
Okay.
What does $200,000 in trails look like?
So that is actually a matching. So what we're looking at doing is we're looking at going from Town Hall all the way to the fairgrounds and along 36 and then Old Main Street. And the 200,000 would be a matching, because it's probably going to be it's probably going to be $1 million to $2 million to do that project. And the goal is to go after either Next Level Trails or go RTP, one of the major grants, to see if we can get it accomplished, because we're never going to have that kind of money. So if we can get some matching opportunities and we can get that piece done, because really that piece is the most vital. It will help with 3/4 of the things we're looking to do. And a lot beyond the fairgrounds is where the development's happening. So we're already having them put in the trail going along there. So half of it will be built in there. There's some Walmart money too that to fix the area around Walmart. We're looking to probably use some of those funds, if there's any left after the wastewater or stormwater uses it, to try to go up to Beasley's and try to get that far. So that'll be pretty cool. And these are probably 3 to 5 year out ideas, just because the amount of utilities and roadways and easements. But we got to start thinking about it now and get those pre-construction estimates in. And that's what I'm looking at now. So either next month or the month after, I'll probably come back to you and start showing you what the options are as far as how much we have to pay to do some pre-design to see how much the project will cost. But
Is the Lincoln Street sidewalk project part of our food and beverage fund?
so yes, they are using some of the funds. They're actually matching with Center Township. Center Township paid half, and Food and Bev is half of it, but they're doing it in-house, most of it. So it's
Oh, I saw the guys working on it.
yeah, it's a greatly reduced. So, but they're only going to 39, and so because of the easement problems that we'll have, so we're the next phase will be to continue that one on, just kind of like the Sycamore one, where we want to go north on Sycamore. That'll be another one. Those will be trails though, because the Arbor Homes is going in. I met with them. They even got the neighbor in between them. That little pocket. He said yes to a trail, so they're going to build the trail in there. So, and then I talked to Roten or Roatan Estates there. They said yes, they'd give me all the land I need to build a trail there. So we're starting to go around the corner. So it's going really good there. But it only takes one neighbor to stop that momentum. So I'm going to keep pushing, and we'll see how far it can go.
Well, I was wondering why Lincoln Street was chosen, but when you say we're matching dollars with Center Township, I understand now.
Yeah, and she, I guess there's some rules that she has to follow. She gets some points or something if she has sidewalks, if she has this, or fencing. You know how she's kind of been fencing everything. And then
Yep.
she paved the roadway behind us here through the cemetery. So I don't know the full details on that, but I'm glad they're working with us on stuff, because it's mutually beneficial.
That's good. Did anybody have any questions or concerns? Comments? Okay, we'll move on. Winterland?
So I just wanted to put that in your head. It's Winterland time. I know it seems kind of weird when it's 100 degrees out, but we just got delivered the tunnel that was replaced. So I'm going to be making that payment this month. So just kind of be aware of that. We did, it's fully paid for. We had the money come in from an anonymous donor who wrecked it. And then that money will just go back out for the new tunnel. And we are looking at, we've got a potential big sponsor too. I don't want to release the name yet, but if it happens, it'll be pretty nice for us. And we're still trying to figure out that walkable element through the pickleball courts, something we want to do. But with our limited staff this year, I'm going to have to tone it back, whatever it is. It'll be a, we talked about maybe just switching over to the bridge and making the bridge completely full of lights that you could walk through. But we'll see. It's just all about time. If we have enough time, we can make it nice. And if we don't, we'll still make it nice, but it just won't be as fancy.
My concern with the pickleball walkthrough is pedestrian traffic and where people are going to park and congestion.
Yeah, so that one was actually just walking through the courts already there. We were just going to put a walkway because they're kind of already doing it anyways when they come and see Santa.
Okay.
Just another kind of feature towards that. We talked about not making it too long, keeping it, to the 5-minute mark. That way people can get in, get out, take their pictures.
Get in and get out. Yep.
Because we don't want to do too good of a job to where they linger for a long time because we don't have the capacity to take care of that.
Right. Okay. Any questions about One Plan? Any comments? Hearing none, let's move on to old business, the master plan update. Kind of touched on that.
We've done a really good job on that. Austin's been doing a great job. He presented in front of the council as well. He is putting together the final document. He's given me a bunch of assignments. So I'm working on an ADA plan and a couple of other things to kind of bring us up to date. And I'm hoping in the next 2 weeks, he should have a draft for us. And I'll probably send that out to you guys to look over and see if you want anything or don't like anything. And we'll kind of move forward on that. Hopefully have adoption. He's got to send it to DNR, and then DNR critiques it, sends it back to us. And then we fix all the stuff that DNR doesn't like. And then we send it back to them. And then once they're okay with it, we have to go back to both boards and adopt it. And then we'll send it off to DNR for approval. And then we don't have to do it for 4 more years. And hopefully it'll bring in those grants because you have to have a master plan to be able to apply for any state or federal grants.
Okay. Any questions or comments? Hearing none, let's move on to concerts.
We have one of our concerts this weekend. It's the gun show. I think it's Levi Riggs and like Blake Whiteley and maybe Landon Keller. Josh Chalfin.
Yeah, Josh Chalfin.
So the last one was pretty widely attended. So we're just kind of planning for that tomorrow with a short staff. We'll all be, rolling up our sleeves and getting it prepped and ready for them. Yeah, I mean, it should be pretty good. They've done it once before, so I think that kind of helps. I know they were really nervous last year when they were doing it. So I think we've eased a lot of those pain, but another concert, another weekend. And then, what is it? Not next weekend, but the weekend after, September 11th, we have Crush, which is a Bon Jovi tribute band, and that's Sight and Sounds putting on that production. It should be good. They've cleaned up some stuff. We had some issues with them and how they were advertising just because everyone was calling us and we didn't have we had basic information. So we want to kind of streamline that and figure out a way to kind of put it on our stuff, but send them to them.
Right.
So we're figuring that out. We'll probably have it worked out after this concert, I'm sure, but we're working on it.
What was your take on the Kentucky Ed?
I mean, they did a good job. They were definitely stressed with it. When you have a lot of money on the line, it just heightens the situation. I felt like they walked away and they learned a lot. I think that was the most important thing with the first concert. Like, what would I do better?
Have you talked to Alan?
Yeah, I talked to him that night because I was there for most of it. And I think I left at like 8:30 or 9 once they were comfortable. But I see him to maybe change some stuff for this concert. But then at the end, I really want to have some wrap up with them and try to bring us together a little bit. We also talked about reaching out to the Square, the partnership, and bringing theirs into, and then, now we can just, have a summer concert series, whatever we call it, and we just cross-advertise. because we're all doing the same thing, and then that way maybe we're not on the same days too. And we haven't
Right.
been this year so far, but I think their September 11th one is the same time as Fair in the Square, but I don't know if Fair in the Square goes that late. I think they're done by like 4 or 5, aren't they?
Yeah, they're done in the late afternoon.
Yeah, so I don't know. We're pushing forward. Also, Rotary reached out about doing their concert again for next year. So I'm guessing they were happy. So they'll be back, and then we'll find out probably from Sights and Sounds before the next meeting, if they want to come back and if they're still doing stuff and interested. So I feel pretty happy with it. We had a wrap-up meeting for Evenings in Ellis, too. We had a really good concert this last one. It was pretty well attended. So we're already starting to look to book for next year. Not only that, but we raised enough sponsorship to actually bring in some revenue for the first year. I knew it would take a while, and you almost had to put seed money down to be able to do it. And then you had COVID there too. But we're finally to where we have a name. And I think, that's part of it. People are more likely to give when you have a name. And our goal is to make it free. So hard to try to get inexpensive bands to do that, but still quality.
Well, you do a good job.
It's a good team effort.
Anybody have any questions or comments about concerts? School projects?
We can probably skip that one. I think I talked
Probably.
about enough of that one.
But anybody have any questions or comments about that, though? Nope. Football tower.
So with the football tower, we're getting closer. I'm having meetings next week with a couple of contractors to see where we're going to be. Hopefully, get the survey company to come out and do the survey so I can start the groundwork. But we're kind of in football season, so I'm wondering if it'll be a better plan for me to just wait until November. Kind of rally everybody together. Maybe we can do a mad dash before the end because I want to get grass seed in because I need about almost 3 years to really get the grass seeded, but we're only going to do one side, so they should be okay for a season maybe to use the other side, but they've been pretty good to work with, so we're pushing forward, and I know they've got some money coming in. I orchestrated a couple helper meetings with them to kind of secure some of those larger funds, and those went well, so I think they're doing really well.
That's good to hear. Anybody have any questions or comments?
The last games are the end of September, and I think they have a Super Bowl or something, but it's all done by fall break, so like October 10th.
Yeah, so maybe
Yes,
we
it's clear.
push mid-October or something like that. Because I think if I could get seed in before November 1st, I'd be good. Get that initial growth. I just need 2 weeks of growth before frost. So
Okay. Anything else? Moving on to awnings and windows.
we're all signed for the contract for the awning. So I'm super excited about that one. That was a long journey. I'm just working on a date with them. I need to find out an exact date of install, but they have to they build it from scratch there. So whenever they get close to the end of the build, then they'll reach out and set a date. The windows and doors. We had one door installed already, and I think he said the end of this month, but we're like almost at the end of this month. He's supposed to get all the other windows and doors in. So that's going to be really exciting too, because it'll change the look of kind of, the DAC and stuff. So that'll be nice. And then you'll see we're going to paint the gym doors, the DAC doors, to match the awning. We may do that before, but we were going to wait till after the awning just so that, get the whole launch together. But we may do it opposite just to show some progress since it's been so long.
Okay. Any questions or comments about awnings and windows? Hearing them, we'll go to parking lot prices.
So I met with Globe actually today, and we went on site, kind of laid out everything, and they're supposed to give me hard prices with a layout. So I'll have actual prices of what it's going to cost to put parking in there. It's a step in the right direction for sure. We just got to figure out, what can we do with the options that we have.
Yeah. Okay. So we'll look forward to hearing that. Any questions or comments? Hearing none, let's move on to Jack update, mirrors and locker rooms.
With the deck, we had some mirrors damaged. We got those fixed. And we've been working on the locker rooms. Well, we haven't been working on them, but working on getting the estimate for the locker rooms. I think I want to actually get drawings for the locker rooms, so that may be the next step. I'm meeting with a contractor next week to see what his availability would be. McGovern Construction. He's a good guy. So we're actually gonna talk about the football tower as well. But we're gonna sit down and kind of lay out what I'm thinking, because he gave us an estimate before we took the wall down. Now, we saved a bunch of money by doing that. Now I want an updated price from him. But if Barry gets the chiller in October, it's supposed to be followed by a move of the air handler. And so all those pieces start to fall in place to where we need to have our bathrooms fixed so we can be kind of done with construction all at the same time. So I really just want to see, how much we're going to be charged and, when we're going to do it. So I'll be bringing that back to you as well, hopefully with some design layout so you can kind of critique and see what you think, which way you want to go.
Okay. Any questions or comments? Hearing none. Year-to-date financials.
So just with that one, just the pool expenses were the big expense in that time. And you're going to see the Winterland expense next month. But everything seems to be on pace with where we should be.
Winterland is not going to be the same for me.
Yeah, I know.
Okay. Any questions or comments about financials year-to-date? Hearing none, I'll take a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
I second.
Oh, did I lose her?
Cut her off.
Hold on. And we're back. All right, we're back.
Thank you. I thought y'all was adjourning without me. So we have a motion and a second.
Yes.
Okay, motion to adjourn. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, let's move it. Now close me out.